Hello, my name is Starla Henderson, and today we are going to be working on our fall sampler again, and we're going to be making the cross hatches that are on our door, as well as the roof that we put on. Now, this is a really simple process because, as you remember in last week's lesson, I showed you how to, using a bias tape maker, to make these strips. So they're already turned. There's nothing really much to turn except your very ends, and after that it's just a matter of just tacking it down. I've already started one, and I'm going to show you very quickly how to tack and tuck those ends under. And this is the same way you're going to do it on the roof, and you're going to do it here. The first thing you're going to want to do is to do your basting lines, just so you know where you want to lay this down. So I would do that on your on your door, and then on your roof. Okay, on your door, there's not going to be any trimming as far as the door goes for this. The door is laid down, and all you're going to do is put your cross beams. First, you're going to put the one that goes diagonal, because if you look at your pattern, it is underneath the two that go straight across. So you want to make the Z, you want the diagonal laid down first. You're going to trim it to where it's going to fit just right in that area, and then you're going to just stitch it down. Then you're going to lay your top one or your bottom one. It doesn't matter which goes first on this because they're both on top. Cut your piece to where you've got, at least 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to trim this one back just a little bit. You can trim it a little bit more if you don't get it exactly right. Now I'm going to use a white thread. Maybe it'll help see better. As I've stated in my blog, the filming and the pictures on this is new to me. So be patient. I'm learning this part as I go along. So here we go. You're going to have it extended. So you're just going to take this, and you can you may have to use your fingers for this, and fold it back and just play with it until it is even with the side of your door. And then you're just going to make sure all your little pieces are in. I'm going to go up underneath this and bury my knot on the bottom. And I'm using white thread so it contrasts. And then, just like any of, with our others, you're going to just tack it down. And as you're doing this on the ends, you just want to make sure that those ends you've tucked under are not peeking out. So you're just going to do that all the way around. And it's very simple. This is very easy to do. So you're just going to keep doing this all the way around. There's no corners to turn. It's just a matter of sewing it down. And when you get to this other end, you're going to do the same thing, tucking it under and tacking it down too. Now, I held my my strip in place, since it's not basted down, by taking a pin and just, like I do my thread, I just pinned it over where it's just running over and holding it where I want it. And that way I can go, and as I get to those pins, I remove them. Now, for the roof, because the roof goes at an angle, here it is. The roof is at an angle, like roofs are. You're going to have more of an angle here. But you're going to do this the same way as you did the door. You're going to lay it down, tuck your end under, tuck your first end under, and sew it down. And then when you come up here, you're going to have a little bit of an angle. So you want to make sure you leave enough that you cut off here so that you can tuck it under. And you also want to lay this, and you're going to have to you're going to sew down across your boards first. And as you go around here, you're going to have this, and you can roll it back, and you can trim this even, so that whenever you fold this back over, it covers all of your raw edges. And then when you get to here, you're going to cut it at a little bit of an angle, because it's going to make kind of a miter. But if you can't get all those ends tucked in, because this is an angle, this one, and I did this on purpose to show you, that's one of the neat things about applique. If it doesn't look the way you want it, whenever you get to the leaves, you just put a leaf on it. And you could put other leaves on the roof line, on the roof, because you've got a tree there and leaves are going to fall on it. And nobody will know that you made a mistake or that it didn't look the way you wanted. Everybody will just think you planned it that way. So you're going to sew this one down and this one down. You're going to get your door sewn this way, and then it will look like an outhouse. Now, for next week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do the scarecrow. But before you can do the scarecrow, you're going to have to do your hay bale. The very first top one is going to be the first one that you put down. Now this is very simple. There are no sharp corners. It's a matter of just basting it down and then needle turn applique all the way around on the two sides and the top. That way, when we start the scarecrow next week, the scarecrow is going to go on top of this hay bale. So, for next week, you need to have your Z on the door, and your roof put down, and a hay bale. And then we will do the scarecrow. I will show you the process of doing the scarecrow. So, this is Starla Henderson with Fronter House Quilts blog, and we've just finished our outhouse. And I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me.